Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. Alright, it's been a few weeks since I have been out to Lake Waco to check on what's going on with the drought out there. And last night we had a nice little rainstorm that dropped about 1.5 inches of rain. Now, that is nowhere near what the estimates were. They were saying 10 to 12 inches of rain were needed to restore Lake Waco the way it should be. But it isn't just the rainwater that replenishes the lake. There's also a river that feeds into it. So since it maybe hasn't been so hot in the last few weeks, and we did get that nice little rainstorm yesterday, I want to go check and see what the water level looks like and if it's changed and what kind of change there's been. So let's head out to Lake Waco. Okay, so this is the first place I've come every time I've come out to visit this, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference right now in terms of water level. Let's try and get down there and see what I can see. Alright, well, I am down here, and honestly, I think the water level is a lot higher. But I remember there was like a some of those blocks out there, but I think they were further out. And honestly, on the last couple videos I've been looking at, there was one particular rock I saw that had like a vertical line on it, and I don't even see that now. So maybe that's all been reabsorbed by the lake. But maybe the water level is much higher than it was. It's hard to tell. But I think we'll be able to get a better idea of what's going on if we go over to that pier that I've shown you in the past. That's at the same location. That's just over there a little bit. So let's take a walk over there and get a better idea of what we're doing water level here. Okay, here is that pier, and that pier is still quite a ways above the water level here. I remember, I think, mentioning at one point that the water was up to here, but it might have been down here when I was here last time, because I don't remember it going straight across. I thought it came in a little bit here. So this would seem to indicate that the water level is even a little lower. I guess the problem isn't necessarily just evaporation, but also probably just soaking into the ground. A lot of the water that we use in Waco here comes from underground aquifers and stuff like that, where they pump it to the surface. So, if that water is all being used up under to water, to provide water for the city, then it makes sense that the lake may still be seeping into the ground, even though it isn't really that hot where we're getting a lot of evaporation. You can see it's sort of still a little stormy out here today. See if we can do something to help a little bit with the wind noise here. But there's a strong breeze blowing across the lake right now. Supposedly there's some rain out that way, but I'm not seeing any indication that we're going to get it. We're just going to probably get a lot of the wind and the waves from it. It is pretty windy out here though. It's whipping up the lake a little bit. Wouldn't be a good day to be out sailing today, I think. Not exactly good boating weather. Let's go over to Shoreline Park and see what it looks like over there. So I don't know exactly what this is. I think it's a school or something. But I was driving by there and they got all sorts of pumpkins out here. I guess they are ready for Halloween. Yeah, it kind of looks like a school, so I'm not going to encroach too much, but I wanted to show you this. This is another section of it here. This is out a little bit more close to the street, so I feel a little bit more comfortable getting in close here. Don't want to freak out anyone at a school, right? But look at all the pumpkins they got out here. You got white ones and red ones, and there's a pink one. Kind of gray ones. Big ones, little ones, short ones, fat ones, tall ones. dirty ones. Pumpkins with acne. There's some green pumpkins. Yeah, they are already here. They are ready for Halloween. Alright, now this location kind of makes it look like the water level is a little bit higher. I remember when I was out here before, I stepped off kind of the ledge down to the beach area where the water is at its normal level, and there was like a line of vegetation out there, and then there was a clear path beyond the vegetation where I could walk. And I don't know, I'm going to try and get out there and take a look, but it doesn't look like there's the same amount of space on the other side of the vegetation, which would imply that the water level's higher. But let's get down there and take a look. It's just as windy here. Now, it's entirely possible that the water has come up a little bit, or I suppose another possibility, since I don't remember exactly how much space there was between the vegetation and the water, the shoreline, but it's entirely possible also that as the water is receded, the vegetation has kind of followed it out a little bit. So at this point, I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little comparison for some of the previous videos and see if I can figure out whether it's actually higher or lower here. I can tell you one thing though, it's a nice day to be out here. Last time I was out here it was miserably hot. The breeze doesn't make for the best camera audio, but it is still really nice out here today. Although it's a little bit muddy out there, so I'm not going to go any further out. I'm actually standing on a rock right now, so I'm not in the mud. But this is about as close to the water I want to get here, just because, like I said, it looks like I'll sink if I get out there. I see little bugs going around on the shore, but they're not having a problem, but I definitely would. This is sort of what fall looks like in Waco. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of time here and walk back on the trails a little bit. Not sure where that bird is, but he's got a lot to say today. Not going to go very far on this because it's still pretty muddy here from last night, but I do like the fact that Waco has places like this. You couldn't find any place like this really nearby where I lived in California. And so there's a nice little bench there. Let's go sit down and hang out on the bench and enjoy nature a little bit, huh? How does that sound? Yeah, the birds are actually pretty active out here today. Underneath just a big, I don't know what kind of tree. So I think I'm going to head back to my car, so I would guess that that means that that's all that I have for today. Hope you enjoyed kind of keeping up on what's going down here at the lake, and hopefully we'll get some more rain and get this resolved real soon. But that's all that I got for today, so thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. So this is the Carlene Bright Arboretum. I've been here actually a bunch of times, but actually I haven't been able to be here for quite some time. They closed this place down about 1.5 years ago. I thought it was right after they had the big winter storm that kind of killed everything off, and I thought that was what it was, but it turns out they did a sewer line extension in this area, and basically the sewer line extension went right through the middle of the park, so it's been closed down for like the last 1.5 years. They keep saying they're going to open it up right now, but it looks pretty desolate in there. So I ran into one of the groundskeepers on the way out and asked him when he thought they were going to reopen the Arboretum, and he says probably about the first week of November or so. So a couple more weeks from now it's going to be open up again. But yeah, it's been closed for almost 2 years, because it was what, February or March 1.5 years ago that they shut it down. So I'm ready to look into it, he said. And he says it's going to look really nice. It's not going to be completely done, but that most of it will be ready. So looking forward to that.